Aaron to speak, I just wanted to make note that Aaron's Aunt Janet is with us today, and you may be saying, so? Well, Aunt Janet was actually the first salutatorian of this building 53 years ago. So Aaron, no pressure. It is my privilege to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2012, Mr. Aaron Schmitt.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank everyone and welcome you to our humble auditorium, and thank you for coming on this fine afternoon. I know some of you have traveled long distances to support us, and we appreciate it. Well, today's the day. We've been dreading and cheering for this day for a long time, but it's finally here, and I hope that at this point, we're filled with more than joy than anything else. While I'm sure we'd like to think that we reached this achievement on our own, the truth is that many people have lent their help and support to us over these long years, and deserve recognition. We have always received advice from teachers, parents, older siblings, or just people who think they know better. We may not like the nudges we're given, or the words we're sometimes forced to hear. But I believe that in the end, they're all for a benefit. Even bad advice can teach you something. It's usually best to just smile and nod, and thank them for their input, and then draw your own opinions later. First off, and perhaps most importantly, we must give thanks to our parents. Now, I'd like to use my own experiences, and hopefully they'll parallel most of our class. To my parents, Ken and Barb Schmitt, some of you would describe their parenting style as torturous. However, I know it was all done with good reason and with love, unconditional love. Even from a young age, I was never allowed to simply settle for anything. If I scored under my ability on a test or assignment, when I got home, I was greeted with, well, we're still proud of you and we love you, but what can you do to get 100 next time? This, I discovered, was good for me. I learned to double and triple check my work, never let a wrong answer slide for a second, and always reach that extra inch for perfection. But whenever I needed a ride to a sports event, school function, or anything else, the answer is always yes. If I needed help on a school project, I could always count on them for advice and assistance because they wanted me to learn you're never above asking for help. Now, our many teachers over the years have been very important, so don't think I've forgotten about you. Our teachers are like our parents away from home. They offer suggestions, ideas, and humor, and make our seemingly endless days of school a friendlier experience. Personally, and no offense to any of my other teachers who might feel left out, I must extend a special thanks to Mr. Jankowski and Ms. Calavito. Mr. J made every day of his class fun and educational. Whether it was coming to understand a bit more of the secrets of life and the interactions of matter, or the fiery effects of alcoholic vapors. I'd like to tell you this story really quick. So, in 11th grade chem, we were learning about combustion reactions. And Mr. J was showing us that if you put alcohol at high density in your hand, it won't catch on fire. So, he has alcohol in his hand, a lighter, and he said, now this won't catch on fire because that's at high density. Well, he clicked the lighter, and his hand was immediately engulfed in flames. So, we learned a lesson, don't mess with alcohol and fire. But he always made every day fun, from learning about science to the mysterious traditions of the soldiers of the Vietnam conflict. Every class was something new. And to Miss Calavito, perhaps one of the sweetest and most giving teachers we will ever meet. No matter what she was busy with, she could always spare time to explain something we didn't understand. Whether it was the formula for perpetual acceleration of a thrown object, or just our questions about life. And it's thanks to them that I personally discovered my love for the logic and solidity of science and math. Of course, I haven't yet mentioned one of the most instructive influences on my life, and that would be the rest of the class of 2012. 8 hours a day, surrounded by this crew, has taught me many things, and I'm sure we've taught each other quite a bit as well. One of the most important lessons I've learned is to always have fun and enjoy what you do. We all have fun. Some of us even know how to turn an ordinary floor into lava and surf on it on lunch tables. Long story short, there's never been a dull moment with this bunch, this lovely group. We've all grown together and learned from each other's experiences, and I would even go so far as to call us a family. Not in the traditional sense, mind you, more like the Jersey Shore, but we have fun and friendship, and that's all we can ask for. The path we've been traveling on together for the last 13 years is about to branch off in many new directions. But before we think about that, let's take a moment to look back at whence we cometh, as Miss Berthoff would say. On a personal note, my great-great-grandparents on my father's side and my great-grandparents on my mother's side all came to America in the holds of heavy steamships from Eastern Europe. They left their homes and came to America with the promise of the American dream ringing in their ears, a better life for themselves and their children, and the freedom of democracy in a land where the streets are paved with gold. Generations later, I and my class stand before you and beside you. When we all entered kindergarten, some of us knew each other, but everyone else was a stranger. But it was an opportunity to meet new people, to broaden our horizons, and fill it with like-minded friends and acquaintances. We all have our own backgrounds that make us unique, and in that uniqueness, we are alike, linked together by the search for opportunity away from home. We now prepare to make a pilgrimage of our own, to reach out for that same opportunity for success outside humble Sullivan County. College is a world apart from high school. We will find various new things to get in trouble doing and friends to go along with us along the ride, but don't throw away your future too easily. Keep in mind that you still have a duty to fight for success and to try to carve out a name for yourself in the history books. Who knows? You could be one of us who discovers the cure for cancer or the key to endless renewable energy. One of us could become the next Bill Gates or Kobe Bryant. When you look at the eager faces of our class, you might just catch a glimpse of our potential to change the world, rule nations, surf on lava. Now, I know you aren't fans of advice, but I recently came across 3 great pieces of wisdom to help you on your mission to come out on top. They are contained like buried gems in a short story written by Gavin Jorgens. I'll read them to you and give you my take on it. Number 1. Don't let anyone take your cookie. What's yours is yours, and if someone else wants something that's rightfully yours, stop at nothing to keep a grip on your stuff. Your dreams, your cookie, if you will. Number 2, you're either ruthless or toothless. There's no middle ground. You must make a choice if you'll let people walk on you or if you'll be doing the walking. There's no shame in success and winning, and anyone who says different is out to take your spot. Number 3, if your retirement plan doesn't include a palace, you're doing it wrong. Don't ever settle for small goals. You owe it to yourself to reach for the big chair, the top of the mountain, the golden palace on a hill. Fate has a way of rewarding the most ambitious with what they fight the hardest for. Well, there it is. Our senior year is finally, officially over and done with. This first chapter of our lives is closed. We now turn the page and continue writing our story and work to make it a good one. Maybe even worthy to be made into a 3D movie someday. So, to the class of 2012, I say good afternoon, good night, and good luck.